Greeting lecturers and good day everybody. Today I am from the last group and I am very excited and delighted to deliver a presentation about the chapter 13 of the story of the village by the sea, which is lectured by our beloved and wonderful lecturer Bonchan Soksiri. And now, not to waste any time, let's get to know our member. And here we have Lương Sư Rich as Harry's mother, Lau Su Thiên Niết as Harry's father, and Peng Savanarong as Harry. Lau Su Thiên Niết, she also played as Bella, Prat Hai Nai Hui, she played as Lila, and Kamal having Ân Kim Hong as the characters. And we would like to introduce you to the outsider character as well, having Lý Tieng as Ramu, and me, Sa Sethabot as Sahib and Bichu. So, and here is our table of contents. We divided into three parts, which is the first one will be presented by Lương Sư Rich, a summary of the chapter, and the second point will be presented by Nai Hui and Kim Hong, which is the analysis of the main messages of the chapters. And also the last point, analysis of the connection from study text to real life and useful ideas, which will be presented by Narong, Su Thiên Niết, and Lý Tieng. So, let's not waste any time, let's get into the summary of the story.
On Diwali morning, Harry prepared to go to Alibag. He cannot stop thinking about his plans and how he make them succeed. He is cheerful as he prepared to catch the bus. Harry! Suddenly, he hears his name. And it's Ramu, his old friends. Ramu is also going to Alibag and volunteers to take Harry's on his bicycle. Ramu is surprised by his friend Gravitas and advice to grow and change. Harry's arrived in Alibag, and before he could ask for his mother, his father, whom he barely recognized, approaches him. His father reproaches him for not coming at first, but Harry explains that he was in Bombay. The doctor tells them that mother can go home but need to return for a checkup each month. Harry promises. He is elated to see his mother, who looks healthy. For the first time since he can remember, she looked older, yes, but much healthier and brighter. The family take a tongas back to Thol for Diwali. The girls have everything ready for their return. Their father cries weakly at the display of decoration while their mother beams and laughs. They offer garlands and prayer to Krishna and Lakshmi. In the evening, they set up clay lamps and light them. They also set off numerous fireworks and clap their hands gleefully at the beautiful explosion. Harry also suggests a bonfire on the beach, which is lovely and serene under the stars. Mothers tell them all the stories of Diwali, as she used to do. And afterward, to all their surprise, fathers say, "Poor Pintos." They recognize this is an apology for his past behavior. And on the next day, it is Hindu New Year. All the houses are decorated with garlands of mango, leaves, and marigolds. There will be bullock's cart race later. And Harry has nothing to do during the preparation, so he decided to go see Sayib up at the house. Harry finds the old man sitting near the marshes. He knows he had seen him before, but he could not place him. Sayyid Ali invites Harry to sit with him and explain that he has been researching the nest-building habits of the buyer bird. Goodness, oh! Harry is surprised, as they are not particularly the most attractive birds. But he starts watching and learning and beginning to admire them as well. Harry suddenly recognized the voice and tells Sayyid Ali he had heard him in Bombay. Ali invited him to the veranda to talk. Harry tells him he was in Bombay. and that his sister or the one who has been working here. Ali sighs as they lost the case in court and the politician has won. He is morose, saying everything is doom and even the buyer bird will lose their home. That is why he like bird, he explained. They are the last free creatures. He loved their freedoms and wishes he could also leave the ugliness of earth and fly away. Harry tells him that they cannot leave though, and must stay and live here. Ali asks what he will do, and Harry tells him slyly of his plans. Ali is astonished to hear of the watchmaking and asks if he could look at one of his watches. Harry can hardly believe this, and he's agreed. He tells Ali upon inspecting is that water had gotten into it. The old man looked at him in awe and cries out that he is adapting, just like the birds are. Harry is uncertain, but Ali's tell him he has just told him how he was going to do it. The old man wanders off, but Harry does not mind. He has been filled with the confidence he needed and wanted. Afterwards, the bullock race. Woo! Bijou! Wow! Back in the village, Bijou won the bullock cart race, and everyone congratulates him. It seemed his heroic roles in rescuing the fisherman had endeared him to everyone. Harry gave his sister some sweet, and they all realized that life seemed perfect at this moment. Harry is even more thrilled to see his mother among the women stepping into the sea to scattered flower petals and colored flower. And he called for Leela to look and enjoy it.
Thank you, Rich, for the wonderful summary. And greeting, teacher, and hello, everybody. Without any further delay, let us take a look at the second main part of this presentation, which is about main messages based on psychoanalytic criticism theory. We have found 3 main messages, and now let's get started with 2 of those main ideas. The first concept is related to family, based on love and belonging needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Both her mother recovered from the terrible long-term illness and her father from his drunkenness. Now Lila's family is back together again. All of the worries, anger, and griefs were replaced with joy, carefreeness, and blissfulness. It was as if after a very long period of dreadful winter, finally the delightful spring has come to provide them with new hopes and dreams. The children, Lila, Harry, Bella, and Kamal, can finally feel loved and supported from their parents, as what children their age are supposed to experience. On the day of Diwali, the family celebrated a special event together with joy and genuine laughter. All this happiness might have never happened if their family had never come back to create such strong bond together like this. What we can learn from this analysis is that we should value our family and give them as much love and support as we can, as they play such an important role in our life journey. They provide us with physical needs and also emotional needs, such as making us feel valued, safe, and loved, which is a role that can hardly be replaced by anyone else. Now let's take a look at the second main concept, which is about the value of difficulty. In this chapter, when Bijou's court won the race, the villagers shouted and congratulated for him. They decided to forgive him now, because during the Great Storm incident, it was him who had saved the fishermen's lives. Because of that, their lifelong conflict had ended, and on top of it, it had also brought them closer together. Consequently, they could live together in harmony and give one another help when it is needed. The message that can be drawn from this analysis is that difficulties in life are not always bad. Not only that they can make us stronger, but they can also bring us closer together than ever. Those are the two main messages that we have defined. And the last one will be presented by Nai Hui. Thank you.
Moving on to the last main theme that related to Maslow's hierarchy of needs is Harry's self-actualization, which is his desire to become the first watchmender and the poetry in his village. And in order to achieving this, he had to adapt and change his own thinking to fit to the new environment. As we can see in the text, when he met his friend Ramu, he asked him if he would go after Divali. Harry said proudly on himself that he would not, since he had made some money. He would try to work here and did something in his own village. Moreover, Harry and Ramu believe that everything has to change over here. Everything is going to be different. They have to change too. Besides, we can see in the text when Harry was talking with the Sahib, he asked him, "What will you do? What will become of you?" "I don't know, my friend. When it's come to people, I know nothing. I am lost. What will you do?" Harry came a little closer to him and said, "Sir, I thought, since it's too late to start fishing or farming now, this will not be a good place to farm or fish anymore. And since I don't want to work in a factory, I thought I would buy some chicken, build chicken coops in my field, start a poultry farm, sell eggs in the village and chicken to the rich people who will come to Tool when the factory is built. And I want to set up a watchmaning shop." By hearing what he had said, we can reflect that Harry was happy and feel proud on his achievement that he could fulfill his own potential to have a work by his own and generate income for the family. And when Harry heard the bird watcher ask him to mend his watch, Harry hardly believed that he was being asked to do something for the great man who had spoken to him in Bombay. And adapting is what Harry is going to do, and he's changed his traditional way of living and learn to suit to the new environment that the factory will create at Tool. And with his strong ambition, which he had been longing for, Harry finally knew his own needs about what he can do to change his lifestyle to a new journey. Consequently, he completed his own self-actualization. That's all for this point, so the next part will be explained by Satinit. Thank you.
Greeting teacher and hello everyone. I'll take time to explain about the next point, which is about how the study of the chapter 13 can be related to real life situation. The first point is knowledge is a light that illuminates our path. When people are knowledgeable and fully aware of what they desire for in life, they will not hesitate to gather strategy to claim their achievement. This will not happen if people possess no knowledge. Just like Harry kept thinking about how he could make his plan work successfully to become a watchmender, because at that time he was another new person with experience and skill. He knew what his dream and what he has to do to achieve it. In addition, he is confident and hopeful that he could be a strong person for the family, especially his sisters. Meanwhile, his growth mindset and self-confidence is seen in the conversation with Syed Ali. He's not overthinking anymore because he knows that there are ways and solutions for him to solve the problems and make the situation better. The second main point is the past is in the past. Let the past be the past and let it pass. Don't drag the past into the present. Just like Harry's father's case, his deed brought annoyance, humiliation, and shame to the family. However, he had changed and become a new person. After seeing his family gone through so many difficulties, which result from his drinking habit and irresponsibility, Harry's father accepted and realized that he did the family wrong. For this point, it can be seen when he reminded the family about Pinto and felt sorry about it. We can imply that it's not too late to make a change as long as we are still alive. If we are willing to change, we definitely can, because nobody else can decide our destiny besides ourselves. This leads me to my third main point, which is sometimes happiness does not refer to every single thing we have in hand. It's about having a stable and peaceful state of mind. Just like what Buddhists state that happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. As long as our reason for why we are happy comes from an external factor, we are not going to obtain the stable happiness we all want. It's shown in the study text when Harry came back home with hope to have his own business and happiness together with his family again and forever. Even if it's not the biggest success, but Harry was satisfied with the knowledge that he gained when he was in Bombay and the fact that he came home to family. In this part, we can imply that do not wait until you have everything to be happy. You should learn to enjoy every little thing and every small accomplishment you make. In short, learn to give yourself a break and be grateful for everything that is given to you. The matter is that it's not what's happening that determines your happiness or sadness, but it's the way that you respond to it. This is the end of my part, and the last two main points will be delivered by Narong. Thank you.
Greeting teacher and everyone, and thank you Neil for pointing out the 3 awesome ideas on how this chapter can relate to real life situation. And now let me proceed the presentation with the 2 remaining ideas. First, there's a long time belief about humans, which is the apple never falls far from its tree. There's something true about this statement, since tree is where the apple grows. There must be something in common as they carry similar genes. However, we cannot use this belief to judge people since it is not always true. Just like Harry and his father, their characteristics can be easily distinguished. His father was a drunkard who values study more than his own family. Harry, on the other hand, is a considerate person who puts his family's happiness as his first priority. Obviously, we can see that he always wanted to earn money and bring his mom to the hospital, buy his sister's dowries, and make the daily life situation better. From that point, it allows me to imply that one perspective or idea cannot be applied to every person or circumstance. Since everyone is different, we have to look at every corner to see the detail and avoid making senseless mistakes. The next thing is that sometimes life puts us in a hard situation to test our patience, ability, strength, and guide us for the better. Ridiculously, life is like that. We should not complain, but better keep working harder and be more adaptable in the environment we live in. The only enemy in our mindset is the belief that everything is impossible. I cannot do it. How can I reach my goal if I am all by myself? How can I be like them? There's no way I can be like them, and that they are way better than me. Overall, we should remove all the negativities from our mindset so that there's room for positivities. As it's shown clearly in the text, if it weren't for his father's drunkenness, Harry wouldn't be able to step out of his comfort zone and start a new life somewhere unfamiliar, namely Bombay. Thank you for listening, and coming up next, Li Tiang, she will tell you more about other useful ideas that can be applied to her own situation.
Okay, thank you so much Narong for your lovely and wonderful speech. My name is Chan Li Tiang. I am also the last presenter, and I will tell you clearly about the useful ideas that are applicable to our own situation. There are 3 main points that we have found, and the first point is never forget our roots and background. As a student who has not earned any income yet, we depend on our family to fulfill all our basic needs. Therefore, when we become successful, we must not forget what they have done for us. We should appreciate their effort and give them back what they deserve, because without their presence, we wouldn't be where we are now. For instance, Harry chose to come back to his hometown, although life in Mumbai filled with fancy things and priceless opportunities. He was thankful for all the life experiences people in the village have given him. For whatever the reasons for abandoning his village are, he chose to stay. The second part is learn to forgive. Nobody is perfect. People make wrong decisions and choices. Sometimes you may do others wrong, or others may do you wrong. The thing is that you shouldn't be holding a grudge against one another, which means that we should forgive and live peacefully in the present. Just like what people said, life is short, so live in the best out of it. For example, we can see that if Harry didn't forgive his father and forget what he had done to the family in the past, he could not be happy after coming back from Mumbai. That's because he chose to start a new chapter of life with no border, regret, or shadow from the past. Moving on to the last part is accept both all good and bad things that happen in life. As human beings, we encounter countless obstacles and problems. Nevertheless, we should admit the truth that it is the nature of life. We tend to experience all of that thing anyway. So if we come across the bad things, just accept it as the lesson. However, we run into good things, just keep it as a good experience and keep moving forward because life is about moving on. And this is also the end of my part. Thank you, teacher and everyone, for spending your precious time saying to SlideGo and Google because that's where we can get the slide and the picture from. Happy weekend, everyone, and review well for our upcoming exam. Thanks you and good luck.